Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Mindy here. I hope you're all doing very well. Today I'm going to talk about all things vanilla. I'm going to focus in on some of my very favorite vanilla fragrances that I have in my collection. I realize it's been quite some time since I've spoken specifically about vanilla perfumes. Yes, I did a 4-part vanilla series quite some time ago, but my collection has changed. I touched on affordable vanilla fragrances that I wasn't planning on bringing into my collection. I also talked about designer and niche fragrances that I loved. And then the 4th part was vanilla heavy fragrances that I really adore, like Guerlain, Coco Mademoiselle. They weren't centered around vanilla, but they had a heavy vanilla presence. Today's video is going to be my top vanilla-centric perfumes. If that interests you, please stay tuned. Also, I'd love to hear from you what's missing from this list. What do you have in your collection that is vanilla-centric, that is missing here, that you think any gourmandie might love, and that you highly recommend? I definitely want to hear from you because I'm always looking to bring amazing vanilla fragrances into my collection, so please let me know. Without further ado, let's jump on in. The first perfume that I have here today is Vanille West Indies, and this is by Ligne St. Barth. Now, when I first tried this fragrance, it was probably around March of last year. I had a sample, tried it on my skin, and became instantly obsessed with this one. This is very sweet. It's gourmandish. It has sort of a caramelic feel to it. It is a rich, decadent vanilla. It is quite linear to my nose. So as you wear this on your skin, it doesn't really evolve, it doesn't change much into anything else, but it is a very sweet, beautiful, rich vanilla. I did order another sample, debating if I really needed it in my collection because this is a pricey perfume, but ultimately landed on needing it, wanting to bring it in, not being able to live without it, so I brought it into my collection. I will say there are other affordable options. If you're looking for a fragrance that is in this vein, I do think there's some alternatives for you. Outremer Vanille and Solinotes Vanille are both perfumes that I bought before I bought the full bottle of Vanille West Indies into my collection. I bought them based on strong recommendations from Fragrantica users, and these are both excellent vanilla perfumes. They are very much like Vanille West Indies, so if you want Vanille West Indies in your collection but you don't want to pay that price, I definitely recommend trying out one of these first and seeing if you like them instead. I still do very much love this one, but I do find myself using the others to layer a little bit with. The other thing about this one is that I'm not sure it's accessible right now. I know quite some time ago the website said it would be available in June, and now I think it's saying it's available in December. So I don't know how easy this one is to get your hands on, so for that reason, I think this is a great perfume, but I do suggest trying the others if you want something in the more immediate term along these lines. Again, this is Vanille West Indies by Ligne St. Barth. Next up is Vanilla 28 by Kayali. This is a very talked about fragrance. I think most people are familiar with this one at this point, and if you're not, you should get your nose on this. It is available at Sephora, so this one is fairly accessible. This is a warm, delicious, rich vanilla perfume, but it's done a little bit differently than other vanilla perfumes. It has an added note of brown sugar. There's also tonka bean musk, amberwood, patchouli in here, and some other notes as well. This is the kind of fragrance that I absolutely adore on a cold day when you want to feel comforted and cozy and you want something decadent and rich to soothe whatever disposition you're in. I do think this is an excellent option to check out. This one will always be a love for me just because it's sweet, it's addictive, it's rich, it has a little bit of character, different than some of the other vanillas that I have. A beautiful fragrance, Vanilla 28 by Kayali. The next fragrance I have here is an affordable gem. Anyone who watches my channel knows I love to stumble across an affordable fragrance, and this is Vanilla Bourbon. This is one I've spoken about before on my channel because it's really good. The best way for me to describe this one is a soft, sweet, alluring, woody vanilla. This has the feel, as the name suggests, of sort of a boozy type vibe, but I don't see any boozy notes in this fragrance. There's Madagascar vanilla, oak, jasmine, black pepper, apple blossom. This is just an easy, well done, sweet, soft fragrance that I find myself really falling in love with. Despite mentioning that this feels soft to me, I don't mean that in the way of projection. I feel like projection is moderate on this one. I feel like longevity is around 6 hours. For me, this just has a soft smell to it, a smell that you want to lean into, one that just smells very pretty. This is a beautifully done vanilla at a very affordable price, one I definitely recommend to people, and one I consider to be in some of my top vanilla fragrances. Again, that is Vanilla Bourbon by Mixbar, and it layers very well with other fragrances also. Next up is one that I even debated pulling into this list. This is Cologne of the Missions, and I'll put the name up here. I don't know how to pronounce the entire thing, so I'm taking the easy route here. This is another one that really lands on my top vanilla fragrance list. This is the perfect balance of boozy, vanillic, ambery warmth. This is cozy, has the slightest bit of spiciness, but not really. It's just very alluring. I have seen this compared to Spiritueuse Duplevenie, but I do find it to be different. If you are comparing this to Spiritueuse Duplevenie, where I see it being different is I think of this maybe as more of a bright, maybe even more innocent vanilla, where this is wearable anytime, any place. I feel like Spiritueuse Duplevenie maybe has a little bit more of a sensual vibe. This one is just an easy wear. It really is a beautiful vanilla, and it's one that just has the right balance of sweetness, vanilla, depth, warmth. One that I really, really enjoy and I wish was more accessible at this point in time. Yes, I've seen this one on eBay. In some cases, it comes at semi-affordable prices. Some of the prices are very high on this one. I have debated buying a full bottle here because I do believe this one may have been discontinued, but I will savor this small vial that I have and hopefully enjoy it for months to come. Again, that is Cologne of the Missions by this house. Next up is one that I saw quite a bit on forums. There was tons of buzz about this fragrance for a period of time, which prompted me to blind buy a bottle. This fragrance is a Vanilla Affair by the Dua brand. And let me tell you, this bottle is heavy, it is sturdy, it has a beautiful cap, snaps right on. So if you're looking for one that has a sturdy bottle, this might be it. It's quite heavy. This one is a lot like Spiritueuse Duplevenie also when it dries down on the skin. It has some booziness, it's warm, it's cozy. This one is comforting too. Are you seeing a theme here? It's also a delicious vanilla. So when I think about Spiritueuse Duplevenie that has that tobacco-y presence, it has that boozy presence, this has that, but it also has a very centric vanilla presence. There are multiple vanillas in here. Vanilla bean, vanilla pod, vanilla liqueur, vanilla rum, Madagascar vanilla. It just seems like there's a very noticeable vanilla presence in this fragrance. I will say that I find Spiritueuse Duplevenie to be a little bit more refined than this one, and also maybe a little bit more seductive and sensual. This is just a really nice standalone vanilla on its own. I pick up a little bit more of that citrusy vibe, maybe from the bergamot, but when these dry down, this is quite similar to how Spiritueuse Duplevenie dries down on the skin. In summary, I find this to be a beautiful, stunning, gorgeous standalone fragrance, one that I don't regret buying. Again, that is a Vanilla Affair by the Dua brand. The next fragrance is one I'm really grateful I stumbled across in Nordstrom one day because it wasn't really on my radar all that much. I have spoken about this one before, so I won't spend a lot of time here. This is Eau Duelle EDT by Diptique. What I find to be the standout characteristic of Eau Duelle is the freshness that you get from this fragrance. There is a little bit of spiciness here. There's cardamom and pink pepper in it. It has a little bit of a resinous feel as well. There is a Ligne resin in this one, but I find it to have a fresh aspect that really makes this wearable. This is wearable throughout the entire year. It's an addictive vanilla, one that I think people who like Princess by the Kilian brand would really enjoy. It doesn't smell like that, but the way I think about the sweetness in Princess and the freshness that's in Princess is very much how I think about the vanilla and freshness in this one. And of course, there is bourbon vanilla in this fragrance as well, which I really enjoy as a standalone note. This is one I recommend checking out at Nordstrom or one of the department stores if you get a chance, Eau Duelle EDT by Diptique. The last fragrance I have here is one I've already alluded to multiple times in this video because I find it to be such a stunning vanilla fragrance, and that is Spiritueuse Vanille. This is one that is sultry, but luxurious, but elegant. This has such a beautiful dry down on the skin. I'm wearing it on my skin right now. It is one that lasts quite a while, but I do find that the projection tones down after about 4 hours of wear. This is an expensive bottle of perfume. It's from the Guerlain brand, so of course it's considered to be luxurious. So this isn't one that I love to do a midday spray with because each spray costs a little bit of money, but it is a gorgeous perfume. This is the kind of fragrance that I would wear on a romantic date night. If you were going to a restaurant that's a little bit dark, one that's cozy, one that maybe has a little bit of candlelight or very soft lighting, I see that being the setting that this would work so beautifully in. I will say that Guerlain rebranded their fragrances recently. It looks like they came out with a new bottle and maybe a new price point. This seems to be going for a very high price point, maybe around $340 if I remember correctly. So definitely one to check out. But if you buy this one, you want to make sure that you're buying it because you love it. This isn't one that I recommend as a blind buy. And this is one that is heavily duped. So clone houses like Alexandra Fragrances, the Dua brand, have clones to this fragrance. Might be something to check out. I'm not crazy about the Alexandria Fragrances dupe, but definitely recommend trying the Dua. It might be a good alternative. I do like Alexandria Fragrances, just not this one as much as I like some of their other options. Again, this beauty is Spiritueuse Vanille by Guerlain. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I truly appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video on my very favorite vanilla fragrances, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, let me know what vanilla fragrances I missed here. What vanilla fragrances any gourmandie might love. I definitely want to hear from you. I hope you have a lot to be grateful and thankful for. I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. And until next time, I'll see you soon.